Hey guys, my name is Andre,
And my name is Sasha.
and we're vocalists and songwriters in Boston-based rock band called Major Moment, and we're here to answer questions kindly provided by Hannah from...
From Linkin Park Fan Club Worldwide.
Yay!
Yes. Thank
Let's
you guys
go.
so much for giving us the opportunity to talk about our story that very connected with Chester and Linkin Park. So let's go.
All right, who goes first?
Go ahead.
All right, so I remember it clearly. I was sitting on the couch in my grandfather's bedroom because I was not allowed to have a TV in my bedroom at that age of, I don't know how old I was, probably like 14 or 15. And I was watching MTV Russia because that's where we're from originally. Sasha's from Moscow, I'm from Chelyabinsk in Russia. Which are two different
Luxury
countries.
that you had MTV.
It was a luxury, yeah. And that's what I was watching for hours and hours after school. And I remember a music video came on with a lot of screaming, but also some great melodies that I appreciated. I wasn't into rock music heavily. I guess like the heaviest rock music I listened to back then was like Avril Lavigne, which is not exactly heavy rock music, but you know, and I wasn't definitely wasn't a fan of like heavy hardcore metal or like a lot of screaming bands. But this song came on, and something about it like turned something in my mind. It's like, okay, well, this is kind of heavy. This is, kind of, there's a lot of screaming, but it's different. There's something about it. There's something.
What song was it?
You want to guess?
Numb?
No,
Oh no.
I'm old.
Yeah.
Older than you, so don't complain. It was Crawling. And I think that was the second music video by Linkin Park.
Nice.
The first being One Step Closer. I don't know if it was like on heavy rotation on MTV Russia back then. So the next time it came on, maybe the same day or maybe the next day, I was already like, okay, so I know this band. Interesting. I'm gonna watch and pay attention. And so a friend of mine later on brought me a burned CD of Hybrid Theory. That was a couple of months later that came out. Not burned,
Pirated, right?
not burned, but pirated. Yes, exactly. The bootleg copy. But the bootleg copy surprisingly had like a full like 18-page booklet with all the song lyrics and everything. So I got really deep into like liner notes and
me
read
too.
everything about it and learned all the lyrics, which is a totally different story. Trying to sing them back later on. That was interesting, but that CD was on heavy rotation in our house for some months and months, for sure. And I guess my parents had to like it. They didn't have much of a choice. I know my dad, like as much of a like older generation person he is, appreciating bands like the Beatles is his favorite one, right? He's definitely not into like heavy music by any means, and his definition of heavy is probably something like Machine Head by Deep Purple or something, or like Metallica is like super heavy for him, but it's not. But even he liked Points of Authority. So that was like,
Nice.
okay, all right, interesting. We're into deep cuts now. All right, cool.
Well, my first discovery of Linkin Park happened when I first saw a music video of Numb on MTV. But before that, one of my friends shared Somewhere I Belong with me, and that's still the song that I probably like the most.
Oh, you're a late bloomer for sure. For sure.
Yeah, and then I kind of slowly started to discover the previous album, which just blew me away. And I think that's how I became like a hardcore fan of Linkin Park, and my parents had to bear with me for a long time. Well, my parents also didn't like any heavy music. Although when I started listening to Linkin Park, after a while, my mom liked System of a Down, like those ballads that they released.
Living in Russia and with not so much of internet available at the time. Dark times, guys. Dark times. Rotary
Right.
phones, dial-up internet at best.
I would discover them before, but I just couldn't. I didn't have any MTV.
Well, that's how people
As mu-
discovered music back in the day. Like somebody
Yeah, even
would,
though I'm
would
from
somebody would
Moscow.
have to introduce you
Yeah.
to the band, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So they were kind of your guide into this, new world, which is great. So I definitely remember who I owe listening to Hybrid Theory for the first time too. So that was Eugene, somebody who I still to this day friends with, and yeah, Eugene, thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
god! And I also was going very frequently to the internet cafe. And
Yeah.
I was printing lyrics to learn them, and I was like browsing through very old Linkin Park website, which was really, really rough.
Really
version.
old, just like old websites from 2000s.
This is so bad. Oh my
Um,
god! I was printing pictures of Chester.
Probably had to upload. You
To-
probably have to update like Flash Player or something. Yeah, one of the memories I have starting to become like a hardcore-ish fan. Like I tried to find more and more information, and then all of a sudden I saw Linkin Park released a DVD. And I went to our like I guess CD market, you could call it, right? Type of a flea market. And then there was this DVD, and I instantly bought it. And like, of course, being from Russia, like we're not, we're not taught English to that level to understand, like the slang and what like how people actually talk. We're taught like
Oh boy.
academic
You don't wanna- yeah.
English,
British.
academic British, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like it's very far from reality. And anyway, so I get this DVD, and it's all in English, and I was doing quite well at the time already, as far as English goes, quite well. Right, I wasn't, but I kind of could understand what they're talking about, and what their jokes and whatnot to a certain extent. The DVD is obviously Fred Party at the Pancake Festival. The weirdest name ever for a DVD. Okay, you guys. I don't know who the fuck came up with this, but even to translate the title of the DVD was like, what the fuck is going on here? But anyway, I was freshman at the college in Russia. I was actually studying law, of all things, which is hilarious in itself. Keeping in mind it has nothing to do with my current life. I had a couple friends in my class who were also into Linkin Park, and I was like, I got the DVD, and they were like, cool, like we would like to watch it. And I'm like, yeah, there's one little problem, it's like completely in English. And they're like, oh shit. Okay. And one of them
Yeah.
didn't even have a DVD player. He had like a VHS player, and he lived like on the outskirts of our city. But they were good friends, and I had loads of time on my hands, I guess. So I got the DVD. I extracted it on a computer through different software programs. I extracted the subtitles, the video files. I manually, word by word, translated all the subtitles on the freaking Linkin Park DVD. There is a lot of subtitles, you guys. There's a lot of jokes in there. There's a lot of slang in there. I got it all together. I transferred the files from a computer to like a VHS tape. It was such a pain, but I got it done, surprisingly. I think you don't even know this fact.
No.
And and I got the VHS tape with Russian subtitles uploaded on the VHS tape for my friend. And they got to know a little bit more of fun facts about Linkin Park, and of course it had all the great music videos.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean that was a great DVD. Like I remember everything, and like the part that I always appreciated is that whoever made this DVD, he's a freaking genius. Like he had some hidden combinations you had to enter in the DVD, so it would unlock like hidden chapters on
Oh
it
my god,
with like
I love it so
with
much.
remixes and their first ever recording of A Place for My Head, right, which was back in the day called Isal, right, and they were jamming at like Mike's apartment or something. Ridiculous memories, but that DVD to this day, you know, a piece of art. Like everything, the artwork, like all the transitions. Like I browsed internet for all the hints, and like I unlocked everything, and I also got it recorded on the tape. You know, so my friend, right, he got everything.
We have 9 more questions there, and I feel like we can talk about this topic for like hours.
It's good. You
I
can
also remember having the videotape of their behind the scenes.
edit it later.
Next question.
A Thousand Suns is probably like one of my most favorite Linkin Park records ever. Those type of records, like the concept records, they definitely made an influence. A Thousand Suns in particular.
I always loved the smooth transition between the songs when you can like flow into the other song, and it makes it so beautiful. And you can also implement it in the live show, which they did
Right.
very often, and I
Of
definitely
course, they
love
did a
it.
much better job with A Thousand Suns, you know, like a higher budget, and first of all, like the track count, right?
Yeah,
They had what, like 13 or 14 tracks,
right.
right? We only had 6 to work with, and like first being an intro, last being an outro. But you know, we might explore that idea in the future again, I guess. You know, even though the industry is transitioning into like singles, you know, when you release something like that, it's not just a collection of songs, right, that you just randomly put on CD without any thought. It's a statement. It's just
For
like
sure.
it's like a book, you know, that has chapters in it.
We put so much attention to details in our first debut EP, One Small Step, that I think we just try to put every single thing that we like because it was the first thing that we made.
Right. I think we're happy with our first release as
Oh,
far as
yeah.
that goes. I think it stands its ground. You know, it's interesting. It has its story. So while not necessarily being a homage to Chester per se, A Thousand Suns has definitely made a huge impression on us. And records like that definitely inspired us to pursue ideas like that, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
totally. Yeah, so great question.
What's interesting is that Linkin Park songs impacted not only our writing style, but also influenced our life choices.
We actually met because of Linkin Park music. A mutual friend of ours who ran an online LP community in Russia was on the road trip to the United States where I lived, and he asked me if I wouldn't mind to let him stay at my apartment, and he said he would be coming with a friend, which I was totally cool with. And lo and behold, little did I know that friend was Sasha. This is how it all happened, kids, and the rest is history. Happily married now.
Yes.
For the second year, been together for 6 years, and yeah, true love for music united us. Linkin Park, Chester united us, and
And now we're making music together.
now we're making
How
music
is it-
together. How much better can it possibly be, right? It's crazy. We're living a dream. What impressed me a lot is that like Linkin Park didn't have any explicit lyrics up until their third album, which was unusual for the bands of like new metal genre of early 2000s. You know, when in every song there was like "fuck," you know. And I guess that taught me, and I know why they were making such choices as well. Is like their logic behind it was, if there's any other way of saying things, rather than saying fuck, just try to explain it some other way. Like I understand like that it's a raw energy or whatnot, right? But there are other choices. So I guess that taught me to look for other word choices, and we're on our third release so far, and we haven't yet
We
explored
still have a
that
couple
avenue.
years.
Yep.
I think it definitely helped us grieve because we put all the. I mean, it was hard at first to do anything at all, but
Yeah.
when the thought kind of sank in, it was very helpful to put that energy
Liberating, maybe
into the
even.
music, and it kind of transformed.
Yeah, because we kind of had, a thought behind it that, we wanted to do something positive the way that Chester would do, making music. I don't think the plan was to dedicate the EP to Chester, like from the get-go.
Oh yeah.
Originally, the deal was to record 5 songs for our first EP. And I wasn't quite sure about one of them,
Yeah.
and I thought, well, maybe we should instead record a tribute in favor of that one song that I wasn't feeling
So hard
quite
about.
quite good about. Yeah, and Kevin was kind of cautious as far as that goes. Warned us about the possible consequences as far as like us being perceived as a cover band, but we knew what intentions we had for that, right?
Definitely.
And I wanted to do something special.
It was
something
kind of beautiful how it all happened with Leave Out All the Rest because we were on the same page. Like
Yeah.
As soon as we decided that it's gonna be the song, it just flew from there.
The idea behind it was to make it, sounding like our own song, though trying to be as respectful as possible and keeping the spirit of Chester within the song. We did not want to express our feelings like bluntly and directly, and I think that's what he would have done as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of tough moments, and very thankful that I had somebody who understood my feelings, and we kind of lived
Yeah.
through those times together.
It's tough.
It was very tough.
I mean, it's still tough.
It is still tough, right? And I'm trying personally not to think about it all too much. It kind of is like an afterthought in my head right now that he's no longer with us. In a way, he is though. I feel like his art
Definitely.
is, especially lately with like Grey Days releasing their music.
Yes.
Which is a great thing, by the way. And just thinking about how much work and how much time and how much love went to this project.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. God bless those guys.
Love seeing those behind the scenes. If you haven't seen, please check it out. It's really like a treasure
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
all Linkin Park fans and Grey Days fans.
Right. And, we're happy to be honoring Chester and his memory in such a way. I think it's obvious that Chester was a huge part of our lives and it was a huge inspiration to our music that we've made, to the music that we're making, and to the music we will be making. We didn't have, unfortunately, many opportunities to meet Chester in person outside of his band life. I was fortunate enough to see Linkin Park in concert, like, I don't know, 5 times. And
Really?
yeah,
Only 5?
No, maybe more, maybe 6 or 7. Who cares?
I had like 8 shows.
I'm so sorry, but I was also fortunate enough to participate in meet and greets.
Me too.
2 times.
No,
And
just
once there was a funny story.
Okay, what?
All right, so I attended two Linkin Park shows of Project Revolution tour back in 2007. I think one was in Boston and one was in Connecticut, and I attended them back to back. And I was always like one of the first ones to get to the front row, right? And I was wearing a red cap, just like Fred Durst. I don't know why. I just bought a red cap, like $5 or something, you know. On the first show, I was rocking out so much, and my friend was with me, and Mike Shinoda, at the end of the show, kind of kneeled down and told the security to give two guitar picks to those two guys. And so I was one of those guys. So the next day, I'm attending a show, and before that comes meet and greet. And so Chester recognized me somehow. Like I was blown away. Like that's incredible. And he's like, "Oh yeah, dude, that dude from yesterday, right?" I wasn't doing any crazy shit. I was just like rocking out. He's like, "Yeah, I remember you. You were in the front row, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." Fuck yeah. That was amazing. You know, it made me kind of understand that behind the people that I only got a chance to see like on TV, you know, and like on the album covers, you know, those are idols, almost fiction like
Yeah.
figures, you know.
Especially
To
from
me.
someone from like
Right, from-
not US.
Exactly,
From
right.
anywhere else in the world. That's just like it's insanity.
But then at that moment, I realized that those are like regular people, just like, you know, just like us. So that was
Oh, I did not figure that
was
out
kinda
after
weird.
my meet and greet for sure.
no.
Shaking like this. I was just scared that he's not gonna understand me because my English was not that good at all. And I had a gift to the band, which was also a crazy story. It was a drawing that one of my friends made and drew it, and it was Linkin Park in all traditional Russian clothes. It was very
hilarious.
funny, and I presented it to Mike. Well, Chester was sitting right next to him, and so he saw. He's like, "Whoa, that's cool." Mike's like, "Oh, I saw it." I was like, "What do you mean you saw it?" He's like, "I saw it on the internet." I was like, "No, this is impossible." And then I saw the post that she actually posted it on Twitter. So Mike actually checks a lot of stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be nice if he, you know, dropped a line or something.
That's true.
Mike, dude, come on. We're all friends here. We're all family here. Anyway, the first thing I realized about them being like mortal people was like they were actually shorter than me. I was like, oh shit, what? When you see somebody on TV, you think like they're giants, right? Like you think they're all like 6.2
But
or
they
like.
usually sit at the table when you meet them.
Yeah, well, somebody stood up, and I was like, or they. Oh, I think they walked past us to the table, and I was like, who are those like regular, normal dudes, you know?
That's nice. I saw them too many times to think they're giants. So Chester was such a character. If you saw any of the behind the scenes videos, you will understand what I'm talking about. I think I watched every single video out there. He's really funny, down to earth, very humble and nice and crazy. That's what I like.
Yet accessible, you know?
Yes.
Keeping in mind that he started from nothing, you know, and he was a broken person, you know, a person who, you know, who had all the rights to hate the world around him, and he made it work in his favor.
Yeah.
You know, who made it.
It's admirable.
Yeah, absolutely. Made it big time. All right, and had everything. And that's something to admire for sure, and that's what we are striving for. Yet, even at his you know, highest peak in his career, right? He was still a humble person. He was still a kind person. He was still a caring person. You know, he could stop a show if he saw somebody get hurt, or and I think he always stopped, you know, to say hi to his fans, you know, whether or not like it's after the show at the airport or like just on the street, you know, or the restaurant. You know, I'm sure people, fans, disrupt celebrities'
Yeah.
lives very much, you know, like to the extent where, you know, if everybody recognizes you, you just cannot live a normal life anymore. And I think he was dealing quite well with that, you know.
Oh yeah.
We haven't seen, you know, any, you know, just like you
It,
see all the tabloids, you know, talking about, you know, other celebrities who can't handle the fame. Like I think Chester
I
was
remember there was a couple of interviews with bad questions, and like he would handle them with grace. Like the other person would just
slapped the interviewer. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
just send him to where he belongs. But Chester was not like
I
that.
think it's amazing that the band is in general, all six of them, they kind of, you know, kept their face clean, you know, and like kept their name clean and their heads held high, right?
Right.
Throughout the whole career, as far as not getting involved into any like TMZ's scandals or like tabloid scandals.
Yeah, they tried really hard to involve them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
into everything.
Right. Yeah, so we kind of try to, you know, be good people, be kind to others, you know,
Trying to continue his legacy.
and continue his legacy. Exactly. You know, we're all brothers and sisters on this planet. No reason to hate each other, right?
Yes.
I think that's what he was standing for. That's what we're standing for as well. So first off, it was a huge honor to be invited to be a part of such event. There were a lot of accomplished musicians involved in the event. There was like over 170 musicians from like all over the place involved.
Oh, it was such an exciting event, and it was huge.
700, 800 tickets sold at
Yeah.
least, right? But the thing is, like, most musicians only had one or two songs to perform. We had one, and the changeover was only like 2 minutes, you know, so everything was happening super fast, fast, fast,
It
fast.
was intense.
You know, it
Yeah.
was super intense, you know. However, we had a special appearance by the drummer who was in a band that once have opened for Zero, even before Chester joined the band, which was amazing in itself. That, you know, he had a chance to play with those guys, even though he barely remembered that
Yeah.
event. But in general, we felt great that you know, we were able to pay our respects, and I think the crowd also appreciated, you know, and felt the energy coming from the stage despite whatever the technical issues that were happening.
Yeah.
I got a message from the guy who was putting on a memorial event night in St. Petersburg in Russia, and he was like, "Yeah, I want you guys to be a part of this, and you know, I can't bring the whole band to Russia." So I was like, "Well, I'm probably gonna be, you know, the only one doing it, or maybe I can involve a friend of mine who's gonna be playing an acoustic guitar or something," which was what ended up happening. While Sasha was here with our then guitarist Gabriel, and they were at the Boston Memorial event, we were performing basically almost at the same time, except for probably the time difference. But you know, I remember
Yeah.
after the Memorial event, you know, I was in a taxi cab, you know, and I messaged Sasha, and she already has performed as well. So that
Oh
was,
my god,
you
that
know,
was so hard.
it wasn't.
It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Wow. Okay.
Well, vocally, definitely.
I think it was great, you know. It was definitely very uniting, and it was definitely very special. Yeah, that was a tough one. We were kind of on the fence about
About going.
about
This
going
is
to the show or not
so
going to the show
bad.
because they just released this album, right? And we neither of us were like a huge fan of it. Like I was hoping for something along the lines of A Thousand Suns or Living
Minutes to
Things
Midnight.
or Minutes to Midnight. Yeah, exactly. I didn't even like the Hunting Party all that much. I still don't like it to this
I
day.
did.
It's actually my least favorite record ever from Linkin Park. So yeah, there goes nothing, right? The day before the show was about to happen that we attended, the show was in Las Vegas, and there was one of their first U.S. shows for One More Light tour.
Yeah.
Before they were heading out to Europe for a long time, and then they were supposed to come back to do a U.S. tour, which was a weird kind of a routing, but whatever, right? And so on that day that we were flying out of Boston, we got the news that Chris Cornell just died. So
Yeah.
that was tough in itself, and I even though I wasn't like a die-hard fan of Chris Cornell, I definitely appreciated his persona, and I liked his work with Audioslave and Soundgarden and his solo work,
Definitely.
and yeah, huge talent, and we knew that they were close with Chester, so it was a lot of sad emotions to say the least. And then on the flight to Las Vegas, they were like broadcasting like Chris Cornell's music videos on those little like TV screens in the headrests.
That was a beautiful thing, yeah. Chester did a tribute to Chris Cornell at the show. Remember? With One More Light.
Yeah,
He
he did.
dedicated the
Yes,
song
we,
to
we
Chris
also
Cornell.
thought it would have happened because the day before he did the same on Jimmy Kimmel's.
Definitely was very emotional.
Very emotional, right?
Oh my god, I'm so glad that we went. Can you imagine what would happen if we wouldn't go?
I don't
It's
know.
just.
I don't know. I don't have any comments as far as that show goes.
It was
Yeah, it
great. We
didn't.
were in the front row as usual. Everything was fine. I exchanged another handshake with Chester. It was cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that because it's our last show, obviously, with Linkin Park, right? So I don't know. I don't feel like it became very special. I just feel like it became very sad to think about it. Next question.
That's not true. I don't feel the same way.
Well,
I feel like I would take any show like until the end that we can attend to see him. Even though we weren't big fans of One More Light album, at the show it's really different.
yeah, it was. Yeah,
And even Heavy and all of those songs sound much more.
impactful.
They rock.
Yeah,
They rock much more than the studio version. So that was really cool to see it in action.
right.
We had so many ideas about this music video, and even before we went to Project 2, we already explored many possibilities of how we can put it together in a video.
When we chose Project 2 Studios to work with, we chose them because they had an extensive experience, great equipment in the area, and they were working with a lot of local acts of a higher end, on some projects, and their videos always look great, and we wanted to trust somebody who would be like one of the best in the area, so they could um, take our vision and deliver it, the way we wanted it. So we had a bunch of ideas and some very unorthodox original ideas going.
Even including indoor skydiver Olga Bakulina, who is also a Linkin Park fan and our mutual friend. Please check her out. Her Facebook page is Creative Butterfly.
Yeah, she also did a tribute to Chester as well.
Right.
So there's another good reason for you guys to check it out. So make sure to give her some thumbs up and some likes. I'm sure you're gonna find it very interesting. At some point, we just had to kind of, narrow down our ideas as far as the budget goes and as far as creative abilities go to keep the cohesive vibe of the project. For the most part, we were on the same page with Project 2 guys. We definitely had head over heels with this project and with our ideas, and they were getting a little bit overwhelmed with our creativity, I guess, and they didn't want to include some of the stuff that we insisted that they should be including, like the candle scene at the
because
end.
they couldn't understand it, and we knew as Linkin Park fans those little details really make a lot of sense. So
Right.
they had to be there.
Like the text in the beginning, that was like a huge
Oh yeah.
a huge deal, I guess. Their point, which is a valid point for
Right.
any other video, that it's not as engaging, and it's a huge turnoff for everybody who just starts watching the video.
Right.
But we wanted to tell the story so people, don't have any like second thoughts as far as like, us trying to like profit on the tragedy or something like that. Us trying to just be famous because because this happens, and that's the hype right now. So just wanted to get the record straight.
Yeah.
Explain what we were doing, why we were doing, who we were. Some of the things that we legit came up like on the spot, like this moon thing, we didn't even know like what it's gonna be, but
Right.
like I'm personally so happy with what happened to that. And to me, it's like homage to original Live Out All the Rest video, where like Chester was like browsing through different planets and galaxies, right, on
Exactly.
the digital virtual like 3D display. But it was definitely stressful because it meant so much to us.
Oh yeah.
And it was also our first ever music video to shoot, so we didn't know like what to expect, how to handle things. We were shooting all night long, and some shots we were doing like 7, 8 times in a row. But we're thankful for Project 2 guys for making it possible,
Making it happen.
making
for
it
us.
happen for us, and I think it's definitely something that we have envisioned. And we are very appreciative of the feedback that you guys provided. We also had some Easter eggs, so to speak, from
Yes.
Linkin Park community in particular that I brought from the Memorial Night in St. Petersburg that I attended to, and was lucky enough to perform at. And to me, it kind of ties up together, Linkin Park community from all over the world.
That is so sweet. In very, very fine font, it says, "Hey, smile. This is for Chester."
That is amazing. Ah, do you want to do it again?
I wish we could know the answer to this question.
Those are some deep questions, you guys.
Well, that's
I guess you don't understand the scope of an issue until you become the musician yourself, or the creative yourself, the artist yourself.
As a musician, I can understand why many of us can have a depression and mental health issues, because you're trying to create something new, you're going out of the box, and you put all the emotions on the table in front of big audience or
Yeah,
any
trying to
audience.
express yourself, basically, But like, the reality is that there's always gonna be somebody who doesn't like what you do, and there's always gonna be people who are hating on you, and who
Yeah.
are judging you, which is fine, I guess, but it's tough.
You're getting attached to those creations, whether it's music
Yeah.
or lyrics or whatever it is.
You basically start treating it as your own child, at some point, and it's like if somebody would be criticizing your child in a very harsh way, like you would not like that. You would be very protective and very reactive and sometimes angry about that. And in the worst moments, you would be self-criticizing as well, of course, like, oh,
Oh
like,
yeah.
where did I go
Overthinking.
wrong? Why did that happen? Like, how can I fix that? Like, you know
Yeah, so you just gotta keep yourself in check all the time.
I'd say number one thing that has to be done is, like, obviously haters are gonna be haters, and they're always gonna be there. But if more people understood, like, where the creatives are coming from, like, just try to think about the fact that you're writing to a person, to a living human being, that also has good days, bad days,
That's true.
um, that probably has poured all his soul and all his money into releasing something into the world. And if you don't like it, just it's your right. You absolutely don't have to. Just don't make them feel miserable on purpose, because it's definitely in human capabilities to do that.
For sure.
Don't try to hurt them on purpose. Just walk by. If you don't like it, there's nothing wrong with it. You can even say I don't like it. It's totally cool.
So just
And
take a minute before you comment anything and think about that you're actually talking to a person who created this music or whatever.
right, it kind of reminds me of the situation in which Linkin Park um, faced a lot of criticism after releasing Heavy and after releasing One More Light as well. Chester did have a lot of pre-existing mental issues before, so I'm not trying to tie it up together, but I'm sure that reading
It
all
plays some
this,
part, right?
I think it definitely did not help the situation. That's what it was. I don't think it played some part. I just think it didn't necessarily make it better for him. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot expect them just pleasing fans record after record after record, because that's not what you love them for to begin with. You love
They
them.
are definitely staying true to themselves and they're creating whatever they think
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
want.
We got to love them because they were so original that they stood out from the crowd.
And they
So,
did it for so many years. I mean, they would still do that.
right, totally. So yeah, just be kind to each other, kids.
I feel like as a humanity, we're doing a better job at raising awareness of mental health lately. I don't know if it's helping or not, but I hope it is, because raising awareness is the first step. And then, as soon as people understand that um, mental illness is just like a physical illness, it's not like you choose to
Be
have
depressed.
cancer or
Right.
or be depressed. It's all the same thing. So when we have that connection, I feel like the world have a chance of success in this field. But the stigma is still there for now. I know a lot of people don't want to understand that. A lot of kids are throwing in things like, oh, you're at the age of 14, you cannot have depression or stuff like that, which is ridiculous. And of course, you should never say that, because in any age, you don't know what the person is going through, what problems they have in their life, and that's an emotion, right? So you feel emotions from very early age and till the last day. So it's really important to take into account other person's emotions. Thank you so much, Hannah, for giving us an opportunity to answer those questions. We had so much fun. Um, This was Major Moment. My name is Sasha.
Andre.
This is Andre. This is for Linkin Park Fan Club Worldwide.
Please check
Thank
out
you.
our music. It's also very much inspired by Linkin Park, even though it's not trying to copy its sound. Please check out our tribute video to Leave Out All the Rest to Chester if you haven't seen it yet.
Write us a line. We're always communicating with our fans, so always replying to every single message. So we'll be happy to hear back from you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Hey guys, my name is Andre,
And Sasha.
and we're vocalists and songwriters.
What?
Motherfucker. Speed racer. Alright, one more time. Hey guys, my name is Andre,
And Sasha.
and we're songwriters and vocalists in Boston-based rock band called Linkin Park. No, we're not. I totally screwed it up. Right.
Holy shit.
Alright. I forgot our own band's name. Fuck that.
Okay. Something new every time.
Блять, сказали же на карантине сидеть. Сука. Oh my god. Some people are so irresponsible.
Hey guys, this is Sasha from Major Moment.
How about
And
this?
then-
And then Andre from Garbage. Right?
From
Straight-
Linkin Park.
not from the band Garbage, straight from fucking Garbage. Straight from the
Okay,
trash
shut
can.
up.
I'm starting.
Okay.
Alright, so fuck off. Hey guys, fuck off, I said.
Okay, come on already.
A lot of good bloopers coming, I can feel that.
They're not good. They're old, like myself.